Breast cancer is sometimes found after symptoms appear, but many women have no symptoms at all, which is why proper screening is very important. Chris Hooper, mammogram and radiology technologist at Salina Regional Health Center, joins me today. Chris, thank you so much for being on the show. I wanted to start out with talk about what are the recommendations for breast cancer screenings?
We follow the American College of Radiology, and they recommend that at the age of 40 you start your mammograms and you have them every year after that. Now, unless you feel a lump during a breast self-exam, then we recommend you follow up with your doctor's office, and then we can follow that up appropriately.
Let's talk a little bit about the technology that we have at Salina Regional Health Center for mammograms. Why don't you share that?
We are currently doing 3D mammography. That's the latest technology that they have out. With 3D mammography, when we take a single image of the breast, instead of just one image with 2D, we're doing multiple images a millimeter apart. And then it reconstructs all those images and it produces more information of the breast for the radiologist.
And I understand this technology is at multiple locations?
Yes, it's at Salina Regional Health Center, at the Imaging Center, and at COMCARE.
In doing some research into this, I know one study I saw, the recommendations for mammograms, only like 65% of women were actually getting them in that time frame. I understand we have some new technology at the hospital that makes the breast exam a little easier. Why don't you talk about that?
Hologic just came out with a SmartCurve paddle, which is supposed to be designed for a more comfortable mammogram. Anybody who's had a mammogram or anticipates having a mammogram, they know that compression is a big part of it, and that causes a lot of anxiety.
Which has to happen. Compression has to happen, correct?
Exactly. What people need to understand is that compression is very important. We compress because it spreads out the breast tissue so that we're able to see any underlying lesion better, and it also reduces how much radiation the patient is exposed to. But with the Hologic SmartCurve paddle, the paddle is actually curved as opposed to being just a straight flat paddle. So it's going to be designed to disperse that compression along the breast a little bit differently. So it changes how we compress and thus makes it easier and more comfortable for the patient, where we're still getting adequate imaging of the breast.
And this is still with the 3D mammography that you talked about earlier, correct?
Yes, we still do the 3D mammography on all of our images. At this point, technology is always advancing, and fortunately here at Salina Regional Health Center and at COMCARE, we are at the front of that technology. So we understand that when you come in for your first mammogram that you're very anxious about it, and we hope that by the time that you're done with your experience at Salina Regional Health Center and at COMCARE, that you'll feel more comfortable and you won't be as anxious the next time that you come in.
For more information, please visit the Imaging Radiology section of SRHC.com and like SRHC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.